A Ghost of Favoritism, Thoughts from a Ghost, are dedicated to my Father in heaven. All of these thoughts I place on the altar of God's will. Hello, I'm a ghost. This is a metaphor, of course. I'm a ghost of favoritism, and these are the thoughts from a ghost. The curse of favoritism originates in the fall of the angels. Lucifer was the archangel who stood at the right hand of God. Lucifer demanded to be God's favorite, but God does not have favorites. Consequently, Lucifer was cast out of heaven to earth for this and other reasons. Lucifer created an earthly footstool kingdom where he designated himself as the favorite. Lucifer also established the concept of favoritism in this kingdom where it permeates all families, relationships, and social structures. It is perpetuated year after year, generation after generation, by everyone it touches. It is a tar baby that will not let go of anyone who comes in contact with it. Remember, Jesus said, "This is not my Father's kingdom." He also said, "Be in the world, but not of the world." Favoritism. Even loving parents unwittingly indoctrinate their children with the family values of favoritism that they were taught. For both favorites and not favorites, this indoctrination begins with the infant and is reinforced throughout the person's life. For both types, it is generally accepted that this is the correct way for all family members and people at large to relate to them, either as a favorite or a not favorite. They go out into the world with an attitude of superiority or inferiority, and people in the world react to them in the way they portray themselves. Thus, these ones are reinforced in their behavior at home and outside the home. The child fully understands and accepts that they are either valuable or less valuable than their other siblings. This inherited system of favoritism is blindly followed and carried out by their parents and reinforced by their fellow siblings. As long as this accepted status quo is allowed to carry on, no conflict enters the family. But if the favorite starts to throw their weight around and is humiliating to the not favorites, there can be a not favorite rebellion, which will result in the expulsion of that not favorite, sometimes only mentally and emotionally, which means that they get to stay around physically, but are treated like a ghost. At other times, the rebellious ones are banished from the family entirely. Are there other times when the not favorites cause a problem without the favorite rubbing their nose in their not favorite status? The answer is yes, and it unfolds in two ways. The first way is a negative, where the not favorite complains under the guise of equality and fairness that they should be treated as the favorite is treated. This is found to be a ruse, because the not favorite is simply seeking to become favorite and is not really seeking justice, meaning that if they were to become favorite, they would see no problem in getting more than the others. The second way is where the individual is mature enough to rightly assess the damage favoritism brings to the family and seeks to bring an equitable and just end to that corrosive effect. The problem is, the family only sees these two complaints as the same, which is an attack that must be repelled at all costs. The first one, who is not really seeking justice, but just wants to be favored, is usually cast out physically as well as mentally and emotionally. The second one, who is only seeking what is best for the family as a whole and wants justice for each individual as a healthier psychology, is usually only cast out mentally and emotionally and is kept on as a ghost. Why? Because this individual's truth cannot be outrightly denied, so it must be ritualistically denied by the remaining family whenever that individual partakes in family gatherings. Their ghosting of the equitable one is to prove over and over the lack of value of the one who is seeking the healthy outcome that is love-based. The equitable one must be shown that they are not loved and that they are not really loving and that all of their acts of love are harmful. Ghosts are not seen and not even acknowledged as existing by the parents and other family members. The ghosts are rejected, abandoned, and even sometimes abused mentally, emotionally, and physically by their parents and other family members in accordance with their family roles. The ghosts are told they are not wanted, not needed, and not loved. They are stupid. Year after year, when the ghost calls to wish their parent happy birthday, the parent says that their throat hurts and cannot talk on the phone. When the ghost comes to visit their parents to see how they are doing and tell them that they are loved, the parents ask, "So, when are you leaving?" When the favorite child comes home, the parents come to life, pay attention, and actively dote on them in front of the visiting not favorite. The parents give the favorite child money in front of the not favorite who could be struggling financially. This usually does not happen with the equitable not favorite child who has been ghosted because long ago they learned to stand on their own. However, the not favorite who is psychologically enmeshed must be financially challenged and unsuccessful to prove their allegiance and inferiority to the favorite. Those who understand that favoritism is wrong and is a curse, or know that something is wrong, are told that they have no clue and are kept as ghosts. Within the family favoritism construct, there are two positions. One is a power favorite, an adult, and a favorite child, who is chosen by the power favorite. There can be only one in each position. The power favorite may be a grandparent or a parent who establishes, reinforces, and maintains the family values of favoritism within the family structure. The power favorite was probably a favorite child as well. There can be only one power favorite. The power favorite will hold this position as long as they can maintain the family structure which recognizes and reinforces a child favorite status, or until they pass. As there can be only one child favorite, the parents may reject and even abandon, i.e. ghost, the remaining children, which destroys their self-image. They are handed a huge, low self-image bag of rocks to drag with them for the rest of their lives. In the preteen years, the favorite child comprehends that they are the favorite. And when the favorite child begins to laud it over the not favorites and dance and sing about being the favorite, the not favorites go to their parents expecting fairness and equality, only to be told that yes, there is a favorite and it is not them. This creates discord within the family, especially during the teen years. However, the parents continue to support the favorite child behavior. Nevertheless, the children love and admire their parents as they are family. The favorite and the most beaten down, the most compliant, see the parents as the most amazing people they've ever known. The most compliant have simply just been beaten down over time. When one of the most compliant was eating a piece of chicken, they ate the skins and gave the meat to the beloved dog. No one in the family saw that there was something wrong with this behavior except for one not favorite. The power favorite may, on a whim, change their mind as to who the current favorite child is. At that time, the favorite designation would be unceremoniously awarded to the new, better favorite. The parents would physically, mentally, and emotionally turn away from the previous favorite, now a ghost, and face the new favorite. The previous favorite would be confused and devastated as they did not do anything to lose their position. The previous favorite would be angry with the new favorite for this dethroning. This anger will permeate the family structure, creating strife, unrest, and the indoctrinated family members will not understand this anger conflict as they have already accepted the new, better favorite. If anyone in the family raises their hand and says, "Favoritism is not right," the favorite and not favorites will shun them. This revelation is seen as mutiny and disrespect of the power favorite and the family. Two of the not favorites may raise their hands with this revelation. However, one not favorite, a former favorite, believes that they should be the favorite, and the other believes from their heart that favoritism is wrong. Both not favorites will raise their hands, saying favoritism is truly not equitable or just in the family. But one is just pretending, as they actually want to be the favorite again, to have the power to impose revenge on the family for being dethroned. Whereas the other, not favorite, truly wants truth and authenticity, which is love in the family. Both not favorites are seen equally as threats to the accepted family dynamics, and both are outcast. Also, if the power favorite passes, there may be a power struggle for the now open power favorite position between the previous favorite child, now an adult, and the current favorite child, now an adult, who are in the same family substructure. This struggle will determine who the new power favorite will be. If the previous favorite child gains control over the current favorite child, they will maintain and enforce the historical favoritism structure, even though they have experienced being the favorite and the not favorite. This experience does not make them want to be fair and equitable with the family members, i.e. their siblings. They want to be the favorite, in control, and punish anyone who does not conform. This same activity will occur when two families merge, such as with a marriage, as each family has a power favorite, a child favorite, and there can be only one in each position. One of the power favorites to be would have the deceased power favorite's will and testament quickly rewritten, giving all of the estate to the favorite, and bring the will to the funeral for the not favorites to sign, which they do as they were trained. Also, if the family structure divides into subfamilies with the passing of the power favorite, the original family favoritism structure will no longer exist, and the favorite child has lost their identity, which is devastating, unless they can recreate and maintain it in their new family substructure. After the passing of the power favorite, the favorite child will still hold a certain amount of control and leverage over their not favorite siblings, even though the original family structure is now a vague skeleton and there is no one to reinforce the favoritism structure. The siblings simply divest themselves of the old and move on into the new structures. However, if a not favorite sibling needs something from the favorite has the ability and self-satisfaction to say no or just ignore, ghost the not favorite, which they often do. As Lucifer said, the joy is not in the taking of things that belong to others, but the real joy is in watching them suffer while the favorite has it. However, if the favorite wants something from a not favorite, it is given or borrowed, i.e. taken immediately. When something is borrowed by a favorite and the favorite says they'll return it when they are finished, it is never returned, no matter how many times the not favorite asks for it back. Such is the case of the favorite borrowing an item from a not favorite, even though the favorite has the same item. The not favorite has asked for the item back many times, only to be told each time by the favorite, "Oh, I forgot to bring it." This reinforces the not favorite's identity, which is being taken advantage of by the favorite. There are many well-established tools in the favoritism structure which are used by the favorites. One tool is accusation in the mirror, where the favorite falsely accuses the not favorites of the actions, behaviors, or intentions of the favorites they themselves are doing or plan to do. The favorite tells their not favorite clique about the awful things the not favorite has done to the favorite, such as the not favorite never answers or returns the favorite's phone calls, when actually the not favorite never receives calls from the favorite. The family values of favoritism create inequality and injustice between the family members, which in turn are carried out into the world. The favorite is entitled, and the world owes them, whereas those who are not the favorite, the compliant, believe they owe and gladly give everything they have to the deserving favorite. The family is well pleased with this interaction, as it is in accordance with their family values of favoritism. Favoritism is used to hinder and bind the light bearers from reaching their God-given potential. It is used to divide and control light bearers so they stay focused on negative or depressive thoughts of low self-worth, which keep them in a continuous low vibrational state of misery, or the favorite holds exaggerated entitlement thoughts of high self-worth, which the world usually reinforces, except in the case of other favorites. This is the basis of cliques, where favorites are surrounded by their chosen not favorites. Favoritism is based on any distinctions such as race, sex, age, eye color, height, weight, religion, caste, financial status, political affiliation, occupation, gossip, position within the family, on and on and on. Any designations or distinctions and or malintent will do. The Bible does not seem to address favoritism except for the recommendation by Jesus to treat others the way that you want to be treated. Otherwise, needed lessons on favoritism seem to be missing from the Bible. There is one reference to a father being instructed by God to take his son into the hills as a sacrifice. The father was obedient, took his son into the hills, and proceeded with the sacrifice. At the last minute, God told the father to stop, as it was evident the father was willing to sacrifice his favorite son. This was God's way of telling the father to stop the favoritism. If the son continued to be a favorite, then the elders and others would also start treating him as a favorite. The power favorite stands between the world and the favorite child to protect and reinforce the entitlement of the favorite child. This sets up the favorite child for failure, as he is surrounded by worshippers and yes-men, which makes him weak. As God lost one of his treasured archangels, his right-hand man, to the curse of favoritism, it seems that he would have much to say about this curse. Favoritism is a curse on all who it touches, but it especially curses the favorite child. The favorites go out into the world and project their family inequality and injustice into their families, social lives, work, church, the world, everywhere and on everyone they touch, with the dedicated support of those who were the not favorites. Also, the favorites go out into the world and compete with all the other favorites to become the power favorite in the world. Every favorite sees all of their other favorites as not favorites, which creates massive competition and conflict. Only parents who are not capable of loving any of their children can have a favorite. This is an inherited family dynamic which is passed down from generation to generation. The parents are giving the favorite attention, which is empty love, as this attention has nothing to do with real nourishing love. Truly loving parents will love all of their children. Again, this is an inherited family dynamic which is passed down from generation to generation. As the not favorite does not have a strong attachment to their parents, it is easy to separate from them as an adult. Often the not favorite will move out of the parents' home as soon as they turn 18, if not sooner. However, even as an adult, the favorite holds on tightly to their parents and their favorite child status. The not favorite knows that their parents will never love them, but the favorite holds on to the hope that they will finally be loved. The favorite is alienated from their not favorite siblings who could actually love and support the favorite, especially in times of need. The favorites are often unhappy people, as the world does not give them the respect and full entitlement that their power favorite and the not favorites agree they deserve. The favorites are looking for the love the parents did not give them. The favorite is an identity. Favoritism is an accrued karma that must be balanced. So, who are you? Are you the favorite or the not favorite? Thoughts from a Ghost are dedicated to helping all to see and understand this family dynamic and to let you know that you are not alone. Signed, a ghost. So, what is the difference between a healthy self-esteem and a favorite? One is still able to give and have joy, but the other can never get enough. Tune in next time when we will discuss solutions. Thoughts from a Ghost are dedicated to all those who do not understand that something is wrong, or know that something is wrong in the family dynamics, but have no clue as to what it might be, to those who know that favoritism is wrong, and to all those who have been hurt in any way by this curse. Thoughts from a Ghost are dedicated to my Father in heaven, All of these thoughts I place on the altar of God's will. Thank you.